Hey, welcome back to my series, Learn to Trade by Jackie. Um, Today I'm gonna be showing, or almost called, I'm gonna be teaching you guys about fair value gaps and like inverse fair value gaps. So let's drop down the 4 hour here. So what a fair value gap is, it's a like, say, like a gap between price. So in the last video, I taught you how like candlesticks, they have wicks, right? So they um, look like this, right? So a fair value gap occurs. There needs to be 3 candles, okay? So I'll just draw it out for you. So this is candle number 1. This is candle body number 1, right? Okay. This is candle body number 2. And then this is candle body number 3. Right? So this is a sequence of the 3 candles. And in here, where the fair value gap occurs is between this point and this point. So you see how there's an area here that is basically like untouched almost, right? Like from this candle to this candle, there's no wicks. So that's what that's what we call fair value gap, right? And the same thing obviously applies to like the inverse, like if these were going down, right? So we can mark a few on the chart here. I'm just gonna kind of show you. So like here, this candle, like this one has a fair value gap. Here to here, another fair value gap. I can probably add a Hey, see, look, we added a fair value gap indicator here. So this kind of marks out, like, this is kind of showing you a bunch of them. Obviously, there should be one here. Like, it doesn't get all of them, but you get the point. So just a normal fair value gap is when there's there's a price and there's no closure below it. So let me find an example of respected fair value gap and then a disrespected fair value gap. Okay, so here there's a pretty big fair value gap, right? So then, but price came into it, but because the body didn't close all the way through, it wasn't disrespected, so it kind of continued off of it, right? Or here. This is why they're typically used, because typically if they're respected, then they kind of hold and continue in the same direction. See, create the fair value gap, price went into it, reacted off of it. For a fair value gap to be inversed and therefore not valid, the candle has to close, the body has to close before it, like below it. So let me see if I can find an example of like one that it comes below but it doesn't get disrespected. Okay, I guess I can say here. So technically, this is a fair value gap, right? Between these two candles there. And obviously, this candle came through and disrespected and went right through it. But since it didn't close and it closed all the way here, it's still valid, a fair value gap. Right? It's pretty simple. And then let me show you an example of an inverse fair value gap. So an inverse fair value gap is when the fair value gap gets closed below and then it inverses and switches the direction. So like look here, right? So this was a fair value gap right here, right? And then price went up, went and closed below it, obviously like disrespecting the whole fair value gap, and then that kind of shows to me that there's more of like a reversal kind of trade. You know, I don't typically use them as much in my trading, but they are definitely very useful. More examples of our inverse fair value gap. Like here, there's a fair value gap right there. Obviously closed below it, inversed it, continue downward. So that's pretty much what a fair value gap is. Pretty basic kind of concept. Same with fair value gaps, just gaps between price. And then obviously typically, you know, use them as price typically kind of taps into them, then reacts off of them. And I can kind of explain that a little bit more in a later video. But yeah, fair value gaps. Be sure to like and comment, having more questions, any specific concepts you want me to go over. But yeah, this is pretty important. I kind of use the fair value gaps quite a bit. All right, peace.